Hey guys, this is Sunil Koul. Welcome to my channel again. As promised with you guys, I have come with Project Management for Beginners Part 2. So cheers guys! And I'm pretty sure that you have gone through the Project Management for Beginners Part 1 and have found all the required information that will shape you for or begin you where from you can begin for your project management career. That particular video covers all the fundamental things which a project manager needs, or which a project manager, if you are going for the project management certification, that will help you to pursue that particular course or particular certification. So I'm pretty sure that all the videos which I'm posting in my YouTube channel and the Facebook page are very useful and informative. And definitely these videos will help you to grow and shape your career in terms of project manager, or maybe cloud architect, or you want to start the career with the cloud itself. These videos will be very helpful. And I expect from you guys that you will be providing me the valuable feedback, and also request you to provide me the comments. And if there is anything where there is something needs to be improved, or something where you need some more information, I'm very happy and I'll be working on those aspects and will be definitely answering your queries. As promised, I have come today with a very valuable video for you guys, that is Project Management for Beginners Part 2. And I request you guys to go through the whole video and don't miss a single bit of it, because each portion of it will cover valuable information, and that will definitely help you to pursue for your project management career or project management certification. Please do subscribe, like, share, and comment, guys. So before starting, let me introduce myself. My name is Sunil Koul. I have started the career in IT from 2006. I am PMP certified. I have done certifications like CCNP, MCSC, and ITL certified as well. I have been trained for Agile and Scrum. I have worked with bigger brands like IBM, AT&T, HCL, and Convergys. I have trained the working professionals across the globe through Coining Solutions. Please note on my address for Facebook and YouTube, where you will find my all videos which have been posted by me time to time. Those will be related to cloud computing and project management. So guys, let us discuss the agenda for today. First, we'll be discussing the project manager roles and responsibilities, then project management office, then project stakeholders, classifying the project stakeholders, project management knowledge areas, and finally the PMP book recommendation. All of these topics will be discussed in detail in the next coming slides. So going to the project manager roles and responsibilities. So once a project manager is hired for a company, he is supposed to do a particular role. So what is the main role that a project manager does when he's hired? So the main role is discussed here. He is supposed to do the resource planning, then the activity scheduling also, organizing and motivating a project team. The time management is to be controlled. Then he has to do the cost estimation and develop the budget as well. Ensure that the customer is satisfied throughout the project life cycle, and also analyze and manage the project risks. And monitoring is the vital part which a project manager has to do from right from the start to the beginning. And in between also he has to check for the quality and see that the quality is as per the criteria which has been set for the particular project. Going to next now. So different roles which you can find in an organization, that is functional manager, then the operation manager, then the project manager. So all these three managers all have the different roles to play in a particular organization. Like when we say functional manager, he has to, he's a head of the business unit. You can say he's in managing the business unit. The members report to the functional manager. He's managing his business unit. That is what a functional manager does. Operation manager is basically to run the business operation smoothly, efficiently on daily basis. And the project manager is responsible to meet the project target, like to achieve the goal for which the project is set or to achieve the project objectives. Already in the previous video, that is project management part 1, where I have discussed what is the difference between project and the operation. So that will give you a clear idea what an operation manager does, what an project manager does, what a functional manager does. All have the different roles to play in a particular organization. As per the PMP guidelines, there are 4 structures of organization: the functional organization, the matrix organization, the productized organization, and composite organization. If you see the diagram below, you will see how the authority of the project manager goes on increasing. So here it's a functional. Then if you go to projectized, what is happening? That in project, if you see in functional, the project manager has the minimum authority or the no authority at all. And when we move to projectized, you will see that project manager has the full authority. We'll be discussing all these 4 structures of organization in detail in the coming slides. So let's move to another slide now. Coming to the functional organization first. In functional organization, if you see in the diagram also, the functional manager has the full authority. Here, project manager is also reporting to the functional manager, and the project manager has no authority at all. The whole project team reports to the functional manager, and the project manager is just working as an expediter, just coordinating the things and managing the project activities there. So the project manager is spending a lot of time doing the administrative tasks here. Then coming to the second type of organization, that is matrix organization. Then matrix organization, you will find 3 types: weak matrix organization, balanced matrix organization, and the strong matrix organization. So let us discuss one by one all these types. So I'm going to the next slide now. So if you see the weak matrix organization, it is almost similar to that what we discussed in the functional organization, but little bit PM has a little bit more authority over here. So PM has certain authority and is working as a coordinator here. But when we say expeditor, it is in the functional organization itself. Very important from the PMP perspective when you're going for certification. This question may be asked there. Then we have got FM has higher authority here. Again, FM has the higher authority, and all the decisions are going to be approved by the FM. That is functional manager, not PM. Okay. Then coming to the balanced one, balanced matrix organization. If you see in balanced matrix organization is a balance between the two. That is PM and FM share the same level of authority. So the resources report to both of them. All the people management decisions are to be made by FM, that is functional manager, and the project decisions are to be made by project manager. Coming to the next slide, that is strong matrix organization. Here you see that now the things are moving and shifting towards the PM now, that is project manager. The project manager has higher authority. So project delivery is giving more importance here. more, the resources are dedicated. You cannot say focus more towards the project rather than to the operational or functional activities, but the resources report to both here in this case also. Now coming to the next slide, that is projectized organization. Here, complete authority to the project manager here. Resources are aligned to projects. You see in this picture or in the diagram itself, all the project managers heading their respective projects. And the resources are reporting to the project managers here, and the project managers have the complete control over the project resources. But here the problem is, once the project ends, the resources, the role of the resources also says. So the last one, guys, is composite or hybrid organization. So what it means? So when we see the combination of all the three organization structures, they are combined together basically, and like functional matrix and projectized combined together, they form a composite or hybrid organization. Today's modern organization follow the same structure, and the authority of the project manager changes from project to project here. And within the same organization, you will find all the structures combined together here. Now let's discuss the another topic, that is project management office, PMO. This term you will always find in your bigger organizations or maybe in the smaller organizations as well, and you should be very familiar what project management office means. So it is a group basically, or a department which defines a certain standards or maintains the standards for a project management. So like rules, processes, policies, all are maintained here, and this particular department or a group defines these policies or standards. The PMO also facilitates like the sharing of resources, project resources, methodologies, tools and techniques. It also does the coordination of resources and projects, always ensures there is a efficiency and effectiveness in the projects, and it also does project coaching and training. Coming to the next slide. So when we say PMO, project management office, you will see there are three different roles, or there are three different types in a project management offices as well. One is supportive, then controlling PMO, then directive PMO. So let us discuss each role one by one. In supportive PMO, you will see that they don't have so much control over projects. They have a very low level of control over projects. They cannot enforce anything on a project, but they are just responsible to share the templates, best practices, training, access to some informations or lessons learned from other projects to the project resources. Maybe they are working on different projects. They are just supporting them and sharing these resources with them. That is the role which supportive PM performs. Now coming to the second role, that is controlling PMO. So controlling PMO has a moderate control over the projects. They provide the support, guidance in managing the projects. They also are responsible for training in project management and PM software if they are using. Also they assist the project resources with specific tools if they are required, and they also ensure that that the project management forms certain standard methodologies or frameworks, and they also ensure, or they also make it sure that the project resources are following the complete good governance frameworks. Now coming to the third one, that is directive PMO. In directive PMO, again the projects are directly managed by the PMO itself. So the project managers are coming directly from the project manager office. So the resources the project managers are assigned by the PMO organization or for a group, you can say, and they have a high level of full control over the projects, and the PMO is itself responsible for the results of all the projects if they are managing using their own project managers. So you will find these three roles in the project management office very important from the project PMP examination perspective as well. So guys, now coming to this topic, project stakeholders, very important topic here, which we need to discuss. And project manager has to manage the project stakeholders very carefully. These stakeholders are to be identified by the project manager right in the beginning once the project is getting initiated. So the project stakeholders are maybe the individuals, they can be the organizations who are actually involved in our project. So their interests can be positively or negatively impacted, like our own company, the technical team, our management, the senior management, the clients. They can be positively impacted. They are our stakeholders, or our competitors. They will be negatively impacted. So they are also the stakeholders. So stakeholders can range from the loyal customers, investors. They can be the employees, or they can be our competitors as well. So if you see the diagram over here, you can see we have sponsor, we have customer, we have seller, we have organizational group, we have the function manager, other stakeholders. So separate, they all can be grouped and they can be called as a project stakeholders. So let's come to the next slide now. So stakeholders already I have discussed. They discussed that those are the people who are paying for it, for making profit out of it, who may be using it, who are against it, who can be positively and negatively impacted, and who will be promoting. So these all will be the stakeholders. So this slide talks about how the project stakeholders can be grouped. So project stakeholders can be grouped into two categories, or you can say that project stakeholders can be classified into two categories: internal stakeholders and external stakeholders. We'll be discussing these both of them one by one in the coming slides. But stakeholders need to be identified right in from the beginning. Once the project is initiated by the project manager, keep track of them, manage them, and also make a list of them. And after identifying the stakeholders, then we need to understand how those stakeholders will impact, how our project will be influenced by those stakeholders, what is the interest of those stakeholders in our project. Everything should be identified and understood by the project manager, and then accordingly the project manager has to manage the stakeholders right from the beginning to the end of the project. So all these needs to be monitored properly by the project manager itself. Now let's discuss the internal stakeholder. The internal stakeholders are within the organization. So it can be sponsor, he can be an internal customer or a client, project team, program manager, portfolio manager, or management, or any other group manager internal to the organization. So basically, if you can say, these stakeholders have a high interest in the project success. So if the project success, our team will success, our organization will be successful. So they are very much interested in the project success itself. Now coming to the external stakeholders. So external stakeholders are outside our organization. For example, it can be an external customer, an end user of the project who will be using our product or maybe our services, and then a supplier, then the government, the subcontractors, the local community, the local authority, or the media. So external stakeholder will include clients, comments, local authorities already discussed. So you have to manage, or the project manager has to manage them very carefully. So stakeholders, as I told you already in the beginning, that stakeholders need to be managed carefully by the project manager. We need to identify them in the right from the beginning, and then we have to manage them carefully and see how they will influence our project and what are their interests in our project. So all these needs to be taken care of by the project manager and keep track of it. So let's see that in if we say how we are going to classify our project stakeholders, we can see this particular diagram over here. So if you see a person, if he has a less interest and less influence or power, then we need to simply monitor them. If they have more interest and less power, then we have to keep them informed. And then if they have, say, less interest but more power, then we have to keep them satisfied. And very important one, if they have more interest in our project and they have more power, then we have to keep them engaged and consulting time to time with them and seeing and checking their feedback and all. So this is the part, and these are the stakeholders who need to be managed very carefully by the project manager. Now, as I was discussing, project needs to be managed by the project manager from beginning to end. But again, in project, once he's managing, there come different stages in managing the project. One is the initiating a project, then planning a project, then executing a project, then closing a project. So these are the 5 different stages through which a project manager has to go so that the project is delivered from beginning to end to the client itself. So we can see defining is initiating a project, planning is planning a project, and doing executing a project, and reviewing is closing a project. If you see the different deliverables are there, so we are making charter basically in once we are initiating a project. We are creating a project plan once we are planning, and once we are executing, we're actually we're trying to achieve the goal once we are executing our activities, whatever are listed to achieve the goal itself. And once we are closing, we are keeping the track of the lessons. We are just storing those things for the future projects. If any lessons are learned, any mistake is done, or any risk or issue was faced while executing a project itself, we are just keeping a track of the lessons for the future projects itself. And also there is a stage called monitoring and controlling. This is to be done right from the initiating towards the end. So finally, I can say that there are 5 stages: initiating, planning, executing, closing in the project, and monitoring and controlling goes throughout. So this is the particular diagram, or you can say you just can go through this and you have to just remember these 5 stages itself. Now the next topic, project management knowledge areas. These knowledge areas needs to be studied once we are going for the PMP examination, or even the project manager has to study these areas also, because he needs to deal with them like also in his respective projects from time to time, like integration management, the cost management, HR management, risk management, procurement management, scope management, time management, quality management, communication management, and stakeholder management. All these knowledge areas are very important and needs to be taken care by the project manager itself. So in the next coming slide, we'll be just discussing, I will be briefing about all the key areas which I'm just you're seeing over here. As I was discussing the last slide, the knowledge areas. So let me just brief them here itself. So if we are going to the project life cycle, we have to just first of all, the scope needs to be identified. So what is the scope of the project? What actually stakeholder our client is expecting out of this project? What is the goal of the project? That needs to be identified first. A very, very crucial knowledge area. Then comes the time. Time management. So time management again is a crucial one because we have to create the project schedule, and project schedule can be created only once we have identified the activities and the dependencies there. So once those activities are done, then we can estimate the durations and all. And once the durations are identified, then we can create the project schedule. After the time management, we have to do the cost management as well. We have to check for all the type of costs, whether they are direct costs, whether they are indirect costs. They are related to the quality, they are related to the resources, there are some risks also involved, and the procurement costs and all that needs to be identified also. Then the next one is the quality one. The project manager has to keep the track also that what are the qualities expected from the product or the service that should be in line with the stakeholders expectations, not more, not less. It should not be more like a gold plating should not be done because it wastes the time and money. So it should not be less as well. Then comes the human resources. So human resources is also a very important aspect because we have to do the resource management over there. It is a very crucial element for our success of the project and a very challenging one because dealing people management needs a very great deal of interpersonal skills. Then comes the communication management, and communication management is something a project manager needs to take care of because he has to deliver the right information to the right people at the right time. And then the risks are to be identified right from the beginning, the high level risk, and then check what will the mitigation for it, how to avoid them. Everything should be taken care by the project manager itself, and even we need to just see what are the threats, what are the opportunities, and if there are the risks itself. So that needs to be properly addressed and controlled by the project manager. The next comes the procurement part, the procurement management. So procurement management is something a knowledge area where a project manager has to deal with the seller itself. So even if there is a procurement of devices or something, then the seller comes into picture and the project manager has to deal with the seller. That key skill or that skill should be with the project manager itself. And the next one is the stakeholder management, already discussed before. So it is that the project manager has to identify them, manage them, and how and monitor them, and how stakeholders will impact our project. Everything should be taken care by the project manager itself. And finally, the integration. The integration is all the knowledge areas integrated together, right from initiating to the closing of the project or a phase. So coming to the PMP book recommendation. So very important one for the guys who want to take the PMP exam. They may be eager to know which are the good books they can go through so that they can prepare for PMP. So these are the books here which I've actually highlighted here, so they can go through these books. So very good book by Rita Mulchi. They can go through that, and other books here like Head First PMP, a very good book. You can go through these books, and definitely that these books will help you for your examination. So thanks guys for watching this video. I hope this particular video also provided you information you were looking for, and I hope you guys will provide me a very valuable feedback, and I am waiting for your queries, and do comment please, and I will be very glad to answer those queries. Please do subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you will get the notification of the new videos. And the next video which will be coming very soon is the top 10 project management interview questions and answers 2020. You will see my lot of informative videos for cloud computing and project on this channel. So please do like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching guys.